Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jason Lore with Jason Lore Photography and Films, bringing you art, stories, and entertainment. So today's movie review is on the latest John Wick movie, John Wick 3 Parabellum, starring Keanu Reeves and Halle Berry.
John Wick, excommunicado, is now in effect.
You shouldn't be here. Nice suit.
Good to see you too. I need your help.
After this, we are less than even.
So a few things I wanted to point out when I was watching this movie that made it pretty good, pretty damn good, and maybe just a few things that they could have done to make it a little bit better. But otherwise, we're going to be focused on story, action, the training, and the ups and downs. So let's get started.
Let us begin.
Our service is still off limits to me. What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
So in John Wick 3, John is on the run from this organization that he used to be a part of called the High Table. So basically he killed someone in the last movie that he shouldn't have killed. And because of that, the High Tables have put a $14 million bounty on his head. And so all the assassins in the world are now on the hunt for John Wick. And this is pretty much where the stakes are really high. You have now this whole entire nation of assassins coming after John, and this is where he has to pull out, all he has. Alright, as far as action goes, well, you're gonna find a whole bunch of them in here, and I like the thing I like about the action in this movie is that you get to play around with like different types of like martial arts or different weaponry. You'll find people doing like jiu-jitsu, doing karate, judo, and you'll find people with guns, knives, and swords, and it's pretty badass. I mean, it was everything that I could hope for in an action movie. You do get in a lot of moments where you learn more about John Wick in his past and like all these other characters that he was involved with and trained with, but the action is well balanced with the story, and I love that.
I went into the training at least 5 months before. The physicality, the martial arts, and then the weapon work. All the time that I've put in, I'm just better at it.
Keanu trains his ass off. When we train him, we'll go for hours and hours and hours, and he just won't stop. It's amazing.
Now, as far as training goes, pretty much Keanu Reeves and also Halle Berry, they both pretty much did most of their stunts. And if you look on YouTube, you can find some videos on Halle Berry and Keanu Reeves like just training and preparing for this role. You'll have like videos, by far my favorite was the ones at the gun range. You'll find Keanu Reeves just going up to different stations and picking up like different guns, like shotguns, handguns, auto rifles, and he's just like hitting the targets like it was nothing. Same thing with Halle Berry. She was just, just like, oh my goodness. Let's just say it's like, this is the most I've ever seen Halle Berry kicked ass, whether it be through martial arts or with guns. And that's why I found that this movie, when it came down to throwing down and pretty much just gunplay, it's like it just felt so, it just looked so real, because the way they were taking people down, it just seemed like they've been doing this before.
They're very much a team. This is just hard as shit. But it's also a lot of fun, and I have a great team of people that are teaching me and training me.
Alright, so let's get into the ups and downs. So, ups, definitely story. The action. really well balanced. When it was time to talk about the story, it's time to talk about the story. When it's time for some action, all hell breaks loose. But it's not where it's getting too much action and more of like, what the heck is going on, or too much story to where it's like, okay, it's getting kind of boring hearing people talking so long. So it's a really good balance. You know more about John in this film and his past, and then you get a lot of action to where you see him go all out on all the assassins that try to come at him. To me, actors and actresses that do their own stunts really show dedication and their love for making the film as great as it is. And so again, hopefully we'll be seeing more of them in the future. All right, so now on the downside, there were a lot of issues when it comes down to like realism. And again, this is a movie, I get it, but what I'm talking about is there was a moment where John was fighting against two assassins, right? And they were pretty much having the upper hand. There was like so many moments where they knocked him down to where they could have finished him off. But because they were big fans of John Wick, they allowed him to get back up. I was like, please, Mr. Wick, let us go again. And so, of course, after going a few rounds, John finally was able to take them down. And this is just one of the moments, one of the many moments where, again, he could have been killed, but then he just kind of got a chance to get back up on his feet versus like fighting his way back up on his feet. So it just kind of gave me that image of like, okay, perhaps like in the past when he was this badass assassin, it's like he survived like all these bouts or all these fights with like all these other assassins because they were such gentlemen that they let him come back up and like try again, to where he just gets lucky and lives to fight another day. I think that's pretty much how I got out of like those moments where he could have died, was that he just got lucky. Not because he was a badass, but because he got lucky. So that's it for this review. Let me know what you guys think. For those of you who have seen the movie, let me know what you guys think of the movie, and let's talk more John Wick. I mean, there may have been some scenes or some little details that I missed in the movie, but always love talking about movies. This is Jason Lore with Jason Lore Photography and Films, bringing you art, stories, and entertainment.
All of this for what? Because of a puppy?
Wasn't just a puppy.